Hey, what's up guys? This is Sweets and this is my first episode of Wednesday Walkthrough. In this series I'll be showing you tutorials on how to edit, and these tutorials will range from the basics of Sony Vegas all the way to the advanced in After Effects. And today's tutorial is on how to make your clip/montage flow in Sony Vegas. So first what you're going to do, in the description I've left you a ZShare link which leads you to a file that you download. It's a compressed file, and what you're going to do is download that. You can pause the video once you're ready, then start it up again. But you download those and you got all these. This is everything you'll need for the tutorial. And what you're going to do is you're going to extract them to anywhere on your computer that you'll remember. I'm just going to do it to my desktop. And once you've done that, you'll see that they're in that location. And now I'm going to open Sony Vegas and import media. I'm going to go to those clips and import all of them. And what you're going to do is drag the Daft Punk Stronger onto the timeline. Then you're going to drag the clip, and you see there's an audio attached to it. What you're going to do is just drag that audio down to a different track and right click and delete that track. So what we're doing is basically we're going to put in our own shot sound just so it's a little cleaner. Now what you're going to do is go to this clip, you're going to right click, go to video, event, pan and crop, and you're just going to move the sliders in. Make sure both of these boxes right here are checked. That's very important. Next what you're going to do is you're going to go play the video from the beginning, which is this button right here, and find where you want the first shot to be. So right here is where I want it to be. You can add a marker by clicking M and say like first shot, and just click off of it to save that. And what you're going to do is drag your clip until right where that shot is. The scope has just started to zoom out right there. So this clip is already pretty well synced with the music, so I'm not going to do anything with syncing on it. I'm just going to put the shots on there and worry about the flow. So what you're going to do is you're going to drag obviously drag the Barrett shot sound onto the timeline. After you made this new audio track, I forgot to mention that you make a new audio track for the shot sound. Then what you're going to do is Control C, and you can go ahead and just find where the next shot is and see where it's closest to the beat. It's either this one or this one. I'll play it to make sure. Yeah, it's gonna be this one, so you're gonna add a marker, and you see it's not totally just out of the scope, but it's pretty close, so it'll look fine. Second shot, and you're gonna paste the shot to there, and you're just gonna complete do this process for the remaining ones and make sure it's on the beat. Paste it, and where's the last shot? Probably right. Okay, so right in here. Okay, now to make it flow. First off, you can see this little slider. Drag it over the whole clip and hold shift and click B. Make sure you're in like preview quarter quality, and click B after you're holding shift. That kind of didn't make sense, but just hold shift and click B, and it'll auto kind of pre-render it so you can see it in full frames per second. And once you're done with this, you can watch it full speed. Let's just wait for this to be done and play. Alright, so as you can see, it's kind of laggy with the screen recorder, but it's pretty good. So next what we're going to do, I like to save a lot in between I do an effect or something. By doing that, you can just click Control S, and once you've already done it once, it'll just replace it so you don't have to retype it in every time. But now is where we get to the flow. The transition at the front just fades it in nicely. Put a transition at the end so it fades out smoothly. Next, you're going to go to video, event pan and crop. Then what you're gonna do is this little timeline is where your effects you can keyframe them, and basically move this starting one out to the right a bit and go back to the beginning and drag this one, let's say, up in the top left and rotate a little bit. What this will do is it'll have the camera kind of start off to the top left, and it'll make a nice little, like, kind of, not really a transition, but just like a nice little effect. Next, you're going to add a keyframe right before the scope zooms out, and then you're going to go, by using the arrow keys on your keyboard, go right, and it'll go to the next frame. And what I like to do is just zoom it in a bit, and go later, right before the scope goes in. Go back and click it on. If you made a preset, use that preset, but if not, just go back to, just zoom it out a bit to where it was at the start. And then you're going to add another keyframe before it starts going out of the scope again. So about right there. Add a keyframe, go to the right, it's out of the scope, zoom it in, and next part is going to be a little different. Zoom this back out so it resets, and but next one, go right, and I'm going to zoom it in, but I'm also, like as you saw in my optic montage, right, or just click on this box, it'll just unclick that box and then drag the top or bottom down, and what it will do is we'll bring these black boxes down, and it'll kind of create a little widescreen effect. And then what you're just going to do is go later and put it back on the default so it doesn't have the black bars anymore, and then zoom it in so it's how it was at the beginning. And then I'm just going to do that last effect for the last shot, and what I'm going to do is zoom it in and then slightly rotate it, and it just makes it a little more dynamic in my opinion. Then go to the very end and click on either your preset or just zoom it out and rotate it back. Now this part's really important. What do they call it? It makes the keyframe, like from one keyframe to the other, smoother. You're gonna click on one, hold shift, and click on the either first one or last one depending on which one you clicked first. You're gonna right click and go to smooth. What this does, it just makes it a little smoother so it's not as maybe choppy. That's what I would say. It's just a little more smooth, and obviously it's called smooth for a reason. And then that's pretty much it. You can do the Shift B to preview it again, and it should look pretty nice. That's pretty much it for this tutorial. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and until next Wednesday, I'll see you guys later. Peace.